Hello, I'm a disembodied voice, and this is Finding Nemo. Marlin is a clownfish, really happy with his lady and like a billion eggs. Then he gets his tragic superhero backstory. No! Fast forward to Nemo, formerly the last egg, going to school. But Marlin worries about everything.
Are you sure you want to go to school this year? Because there's no problem if you don't. You can wait 5 or 6 years.
Come on, Dad.
It's almost like he's compensating for not protecting him well enough in the past. Well, he gets especially concerned when the school takes a trip to the edge of the reef.
They're going to the drop-off? What are you insane? Why don't we just fry them up now and serve them with chip?
Where the kids find something unfamiliar to them.
Danny Plankton saw one. He said it was called, a butt.
When he catches up with the kids, he makes a big deal about it all, prompting Nemo to rebel and play some somewhat literal grab-ass.
Don't touch the butt. Nemo!
He touched the butt.
Some divers show up and take him away, but Marlin follows. In his pursuit, he runs into a blue tang named Dory. She agrees to help him out, but there's something off about her.
Hey, I've seen a boat.
You have?
Uh-huh, and it passed by not too long ago.
A white one?
Hi, I'm Dory.
It turns out she suffers from memory loss.
It runs in my family. Well, I mean, at least I think it does. Where are they?
After sitting around confused for a bit, Dory and Marlin are found by a shark, Bruce. He takes them to a party.
Hey, look, balloons! It is a party!
Where they talk about not eating fish.
Fish are friends, not food.
You know, that thing that sharks need to do to survive, while clownfish and blue tang generally don't do at all. Marlin finds the mask of the diver, and Dory gets hurt, insisting on seeing it. And with blood in the water, Bruce behaves like a shark with blood in the water.
I'm having fish tonight!
During the chase, Dory reveals that she can read.
You can read?
I can read? That's right, I can read!
Well, then here, read this down.
Hold up a minute, Marlin. Just ask yourself this question. Is now really the best time for this? You don't think this could wait just a little bit? No? Okay, now is good, I guess. After some shenanigans, everything explodes, and we cut away. We find Nemo in a fish tank in a dentist's office. He's confused and scared, and all the fish greet him in ways that only deepen that fear like the sadists that they are. Seriously, they all gather to watch dental procedures. These fish watch pain recreationally.
What did I miss? Am I late?
Root canal, and it's a doozy.
Root canal, huh? What did he use to open?
Gator Glidden
He's been favoring that one.
We also get our ticking clock.
She's gonna be here Friday to pick you up. You're her present.
She wouldn't stop shaking the bag.
Upon learning of his eventual fate, Nemo yells and swims very urgently in a direction that does not matter because he's in a fish tank. While he's stuck in the tube, Gil shows up being needlessly cryptic and edgy. He gets out and we cut away again. Marlin and Dory wake up hungover from the party, and Marlin starts knocking things over like he's still wasted. Specifically, he knocks over a submarine. They drop the mask down into the ravine. There's this fraction of a song which people seem to love for whatever reason. We all know it and I don't like it, so I'm not playing it. When they're at the bottom, they become fascinated with a light, and the moment that Marlin realizes that it's actually an anglerfish is perfect.
I'm gonna be your best friend. Good feelings gone.
There's shenanigans, but Dory reads the mask, and for once in her life, she can actually remember the address.
So what did it say? What did the mask say?
P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. I remembered what it said! I usually forget things, but I remembered it that time!
Back to Nemo, he's woken up at night to be initiated into the tank. If he doesn't go through with it, I guess they're gonna have to kill him. I mean, he can't really leave easily, and they live in 5 square feet of fish tank. I really see no other option. He goes through the Ring of Fire, however, so Gil tells him about the escape plan where he plays an almost suicidal role of jumping into the water filter. Oh wow, looks like they're gonna kill him anyway. Back to the ocean, Dory is reciting the address repeatedly, and Marlin gets sick of it, so he tactfully asks her to leave. And she makes a huge scene about it, causing an encounter from a wild wishy-washy.
Lady, is this guy bothering you?
I don't remember. Were you?
These guys are a bit hilarious, but Marlin gets fed up with them and starts to leave. And here's the part where I first realized this. Marlin and Dory are so good at being at odds with one another, but both of them are actually totally understandable. You can't tell Marlin, just deal with her, it's not that big of an issue. His son is missing, and she's useful, sure, but she's slowing him down without a doubt.
You know, I just can't afford any more delays, and you're one of those fish that cause delays.
And you can't tell Dory much of anything, because she's incapable of knowing better, but she still tries to help in any way that she can.
Right, got it.
But it doesn't matter, because no fish in this entire ocean is gonna help me.
Well, I'm helping you.
It's a beautiful dynamic that is so delicate, but here it's executed so damn well. So after getting directions, they come to a trench that they go over despite Dory's protests. That leads them to a swarm of jellyfish, and while making their way through it, Dory gets caught. But Marlin goes back in after her and faints coming out. In the tank, it's come time for the escape plan.
He just grabbed the Reader's Digest. We have 4.2 minutes.
That's your cue, Sharkbait.
So Nemo does all the hard work, takes all the risk, and nearly dies because it goes wrong. It's to be expected. He's the newest guy in the tank, of course he gets all the crappy jobs. And sometimes that means risking life and limb. Marlin wakes up on a turtle, surrounded by more turtles. And it turns out he's made it to the East Australian Current. Dory is busy hanging out with the little turtles, and they want to hear all about Marlin's travels.
Mr. Fish, did you die?
Sorry, I was a little vague on the details.
So he tells them, and his story passes on through word of mouth through all these different species. And eventually it gets to Nigel, that pelican that we saw earlier at the dentist office. Back in the tank,
Is he doing okay?
just about as okay as a child accepting their inevitable death can be doing. Thanks for asking. So Nigel stops by and starts telling Nemo all about his dad's journey.
It's my dad! He took on a shark!
I heard he took on 3.
And look at his beaming little face! This is the face of a child hearing about the magic of Santa Claus for the first time, and it absolutely warms my heart. His dad just went from a pain in the boat to his hero. Inspired by his father's exploits, Nemo goes and jams the filter again, this time a little bit more permanently. Back to Marlin and Dory, they're about to exit the current.
You mean the swirling vortex of terror?
That's it, dude.
Of course it is.
How is that not a thing in Disney World yet? Splash Mountain has nothing on a name like Swirling Vortex of Terror. Anyway, they dismount the current into the middle of nowhere. They see a singular fish in the middle of this nowhere. It turns out to be a whale, but fortunately, Dory can speak whale.
Dory, this is not whale. You're speaking like upset stomach.
And the whale swallows them whole. Back to the tank, it is now so nasty that it calls Janet Jackson Miss Jackson. The dentist says he's gonna clean the tank, and Nemo has clearly lost sight of why they made the tank dirty in the first place.
Yeah, we're gonna be clean!
If he wanted to be clean, just hit up the shrimp again. This is a jailbreak, not a bath. Get your head in the game, Nemo. Back to Jonah, he's trying to break out of the whale, while Dory is having an absolute blast. And she starts spouting some surprising wisdom.
I promised him I'd never let anything happen to him.
Well, you can't never let anything happen to him. Then nothing would ever happen to him.
The water starts draining from the whale's mouth, and Marlin is a goddamn hero. How does a fish even do this? And out of water!
He says it's time to let go! Everything's gonna be alright!
Dory wants to listen to the whale's commands, and Marlin decides to trust her this time around. Despite appearances, everything works out alright, and it turns out they've made it to Sydney. The tank is clean now, through new technology stuff. No bags, no escape, no hope. Yet, the fish fight onwards. But Nemo is eventually captured and placed in a bag. Then that bag is placed in a box. Then that box is placed inside of another box and smashed with a... Oh wait, sorry. Wrong movie. Instead, Darla shows up. Marlin and Dory get picked up by a pelican, but Marlin chokes it out from the inside. Nigel finds them, as do all the seagulls, so they move into Nigel's mouth. It's a lot less spacious than the accommodations that they're used to, but this mouth can fly, so that's definitely a plus. Darla starts being terrifying.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Find a happy place, find a happy place, find a happy place!
Yeah, that's how it would actually feel. Tapping glass is bad, girl from Happy Feet. Nemo plays dead to avoid Darla, while Nigel shows up carrying Marlin and Dory. Let me pause for a moment. I think the most overlooked but hilarious 3 seconds in the whole film is right here.
Dentist!
He's over there!
What's a dentist? What is that?
We've got the starfish flailing around like she took something way too strong at a rave, the whimsical diver toy in the middle of huge drama, and this line.
What's a dentist? What is that?
Aside from the comedy, Marlin thinks that Nemo is dead, Gil decides that somebody else can take a risk this time, and Nemo gets rinsed down the drain. Nigel lets Marlin and Dory go, and this little breakup between the two is just soul-crushing. Marlin wants to forget all of these adventures because it stings, and of course it does. He lost his son. Dory, on the other hand, just got used to remembering things at all, but to Marlin, she's just a reminder of what would be the most painful experience of his life. Okay, maybe the second most painful. Anyways, Nemo exits the pipe and meets Dory. And when Nemo tells her his name...
I'm Dory.
I'm Nemo.
Nemo? That's a nice name.
Nothing. Because she never remembered that in the first place.
He's lost his son, Fabio.
Not much fun for little Harpo.
Your son, Chico?
Nemo.
Right, got it. His son, Bingo!
Nemo.
Nemo!
What does make her remember again is seeing Sydney written on the pipes, because that is what she remembered the whole time. So Dory and Nemo go to find Marlin, and everything is cool and all but fishing nets.
Hey, Dory! Get his mouth!
No!
Dad, I know what to do!
Nemo, no!
We have to tell all the fish to swim down together!
Nemo has an idea that he got from somewhere, and Marlin eventually lets him try it. It works after a bit, and Nemo is the only one hurt at the end of it all. It works really well for the parallel back to the beginning, but you know I don't like these hyper-temporary fake death things. And then we get super high praise from Nemo.
I don't hate you.
Yeah, great, your dad pulled off the clownfish equivalent of the Odyssey to save your life. And that's all you can say. I don't hate you. Fantastic. We get obligatory ending scenes, and then we close. Golden. That's all I can really say about this movie. Its minimal missteps, in my mind, are all personal opinion. So what does this film do well? To start off, it's really, really pretty. The ocean visuals are fantastic, and I love how you can see how the sun ripples through the waves in the shallower water. I like how they have such a decorated fish tank as well. The music is actually even better than the visuals, however. Offhand, I can't remember the backing music for any Pixar film, but this is an exception, and it is stellar, especially during the scene inside the whale. It's incredibly calming and the perfect soundtrack to portray a giant, uncaring oceanscape. All the different trials that Marlin and Dory undergo have their own cast of characters that all stand out in their own unique ways. The sharks attempting vegetarianism is an old trope, but to have meetings a la a rehab program is hilarious. The School of Impressionists are fun, and the turtles, well, they're the least interesting of the bunch, but they're still a good time. Marlin and Dory's dynamic, mentioned earlier, is also quite unique, and it had me switching my sympathies between them every other scene, or sometimes every other line. Nemo and his tank mates are quite entertaining as well. Well, kind of bare bones because there's never really focus on anyone but Nemo and Gil, but that's fine. Despite my jokes, they want what's best for Nemo, and Gil might have been a little bit more selfish, but he realizes that he was pushing a bit too hard, despite the fact that it's still in Nemo's own best interest. The plot isn't complex or anything, but it doesn't really need to be. It's a bunch of set pieces strung together from Marlin and Dory's perspective, and each of them deliver well, somewhere between good and great. Again, mentioned before, the scene where Marlin leaves Dory in Sydney is a tearjerker, but you'd need to be absolutely heartless to not understand where both of them are coming from. And I'd say that's where the movie shines the brightest. It's very good at capturing the emotional states of the characters, especially Marlin. It's just a wholesome good time following their bumbling triumphs with a lot of great eye candy, a bunch of good humor, and a few really emotional moments woven in. In fact, this movie was so good that I'm going to make up a special award thing in honor of how good it is. How about the medal of this was really, really good instead of just really good? Oh, actually, I've got it. The award of inaccurately portraying my opinion as more valid than yours because I made a video about mine. Yeah, I don't like that one either. Okay, how about the ImmaDreygon Certificate of Nearly Immaculate Cinema? I like that one. We'll call it I.C.O.N.I.C for short. Yes, this is a stupid gimmick, but at least I'm self-aware about it. It's either this or I can start begging for people to subscribe at the end of every video, and nobody wants that.
Slowly drifting away, wave after wave, wave after wave. Slowly drifting.
Next time, well, I'm actually going to be in Australia for the second half of May. It'll be a while before another video, probably in early June, but it'll be a bunch of TV episodes again.